What's up people, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are well. So today's video is about how to get under 15% body fat. Now, I plateaued in the gym for years and wondered why I could never get abs, and at the same time was going out drinking loads midweek and not sleeping properly and not taking care of my sleep. Now there's a few issues here. If you are going out drinking a lot, you're getting excess calories from the alcohol, and you're probably not going to be in a calorie deficit at the end of each week. So you've got the issue of calorie intake and not allowing yourself to stay in a deficit over time in order to lose that fat. But you've also got the knock-on effects of drinking, whereby you are impacting your sleep. And if you are depriving yourself of sleep, your hunger hormones then get thrown out of whack. You start making more reckless decisions on your diet, and everything just falls apart when you lose your sleep pattern. So if you are currently going out drinking a lot or not taking care of your sleep, I would say they're two very quick wins that you can think about in order to speed up your results. And this is something that held me back for a long time. I realised that I was probably averaging somewhere around the 20 to 25 body fat percentage range. So by all means, I was not unhealthy, and you can see in pictures like this where I've got maybe some upper abs or some definition, or at least some muscle showing, and I had been training for a few years at this point. But as I say, the main mistake I was making back then was the fact that I just wasn't taking care of my sleep. I was having so much caffeine in the morning in order to get up and train. Even though I was sleep deprived, I was barely getting 6 hours of sleep a night, which is just stupid. I just think you have to weigh up how much you actually want to get really lean while you're doing it. And if you do, then commit to it. As you can see in this picture, I got relatively lean last summer, got down to about 71 kilos, which is the lightest I've been, and I was around about 13% body fat, I think, at this point here. Obviously, you have to take the scales with a pinch of salt. So honestly, what gets you from 25% body fat down to 20, down to 15 is all the same, really. It just comes back to discipline and consistency, and these are two of the most underrated skills about dieting or getting in shape. You've just got to be patient with it, stick to what you're doing, ticking over your good habits on your steps, on your nutrition, so getting your protein intake in, ensuring you're in a calorie deficit, and then just looking at tips and tricks to help you adhere to that over time. Getting plenty of water in, loads of fruit and veg, going high on your protein so that you're feeling full in a deficit. 0 calorie soft drinks. All of these tools you can use to ensure that you stick in a deficit. You can even look at just pushing your meals out, such as intermittent fasting, which is just potentially going to keep your calories under control because your feeding window is shorter. All of these sort of tips and tricks you can use along the way and see them as tools to help you stay in a deficit over time. But the reality is, if you want to get under 15% body fat, you are going to have to not go out quite as much drinking, or you're going to have to just be more disciplined with how you go about it. Things like calorie banking, or gradually reducing your calories 200 a day in the week to give yourself a buffer at the weekend. And I think this discipline and patience is what is required to get to that point, and you're going to have to stick to a cut for a relatively significant period of time in order to shave that amount of body fat off. It does take a significant period of time. You do have to just accept that if you're staying in a deficit for an extended period of time, you are going to start to feel a bit fatigued towards the end of your cut, and you are going to not be able to go out quite as much as you used to, and you need to place more emphasis on sleep to ensure that you are recovering well between sessions and you're able to train hard to cling on to that muscle when you're in a calorie deficit. And this is essentially how you go about it. There's no quick fixes, and unfortunately there's nothing I can tell you that's going to necessarily speed up the process. But as I say, I would recommend that you ask yourself, why do you want to be under 15% body fat anyway? And ultimately everyone is different. Genetics are going to play a part in how you store your body fat. Some people are going to look quite lean at 15% body fat. Some people may have some fat still covering their lower abs at that body fat. So it really does come down to individuals. And as I say, in order to get relatively lean, you are just going to have to sacrifice the odd night out here and there. I think the reason why people are always searching for a quick fix or a sort of hack for fat loss and things like that is the reality is it is hard, and it takes time, so you just have to be patient. Like if you want to make a significant change to your physique, if you've spent years not being happy with your body, or eating in a calorie surplus and gaining a bit of weight, realistically you can't lose all of that in the space of a couple of weeks. You have to just put in the graft and put in the time. Just commit to that phase properly and trust that if you put the work in, you're going to get the results that you're looking for. So I hope you found that video useful. Unfortunately, there's no fancy tips I can give you other than do get in a calorie deficit and use these tools to your advantage, and just be patient with it, and you are gonna get where you want to be. Hope you found the video useful. Drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye.